Yeah, hi there everybody. These comments are for my online students at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. So in this video, I know some of you like to listen to feedback that I'm giving to other students. So in today's video, I will be giving feedback on Integrated Speaking Practice Test number 19, Integrated Speaking Practice Test number 15. I'll also be giving feedback with Speak Clearly lesson number 5. And then the next one, let me see which one this is. I'll be giving feedback, it looks like Independent Speaking Practice Test 1. And then we have an Independent Speaking Practice Test number 163. And then I have a pretest I'll be giving feedback on. So a pronunciation pretest. So a lot of things going on in the online course today. A lot of students are all trying to work on getting higher than 26 on the speaking section of the test. So let's see how everybody's doing. So I'll start first. I'm going to just say MR, so let me go ahead and listen to hers. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for MR. I'm going to listen to your Integrated Speaking Practice Test number 19. And let's hear what you have to say on this one.
The professor discussed about the 5 stages included in the...
Okay, let's go back. You're speaking a little bit quickly. Sometimes you get nervous. You speak a little fast.
The professor discussed about the 5.
The professor discusses. You want to make that verb there because discuss is the base form of the verb. When you make it singular, you have to add es on that.
The stage is included in the process of writing a paper before returning it for assessment.
Okay, before what? Let me go back, check your language use.
Return it for assessment. The first is of writing a paper before returning it for assessment.
Before returning it to the student. So the professor gives comments before returning it or before the professor returns it to the student. So you took the adverb clause, you reduced it. Because it has active meaning, you have to put ing on the end of that verb.
The first stage the professor mentions is the description of orientation after a topic is found to be discussed. The second stage the professor says is called the in-class planning drafting, and it's related to the review of what was learned during the first stage.
Okay.
Then the writer will be in charge of organizing the ideas in an understandable way in the paper.
Paper. You need to pronounce paper with a lot more air. Not paper, but paper. Check this out. Think about this for a minute. If I say the word paper, I'm going to say it like this. Paper, right? So there needs to be a lot more air there. So when you're reading, I like how when you're speaking pretty quickly, but as you speak quickly, you're not making one of the words in each of your sentences a focus word. That focus word needs to be a little bit louder. You need to pay more attention, put more stress on that particular word. So it's the last noun, adjective, adverb, or verb in that sentence needs to be the focus word. So that's going to be important.
The following stage is headed by the professor to be the mirror draft, a peer-reviewed stage, where the writer should receive critical comments by the first readers.
I would say the stage not where, but in which the writer receives. So you're using in which for non-geographical locations. I prefer when you're using where, it needs to refer to a specific location. For example, I went to Los Angeles where I went shopping with my family. Now if it said I was reading in the book in which the writer was discussing blah blah blah, so if it's a non-geographical location, use in which. If it specifically refers to a geographical location, then you can use where.
Then in the fourth stage, the professor explains to be the final draft, when the mirror draft is reviewed accurately by instructors in order to
get... I want to say it's reviewed accurately. You had some word stress issues there.
Improvements. And finally, the fifth stage is optional and is used by the writer.
Now your tone's getting better at the end, interesting enough. Now why is that? So a lot of your intonation throughout your response was very monotone, but I like some of the tone you used near the end of your response. It sounded more natural to me than what you did in the beginning, so you should compare. So compare your intonation in the beginning of this response and then contrast that with the more natural sounding tone at the end of the response.
To review the instructor's comments in a week until return it for assessment.
Okay.
The professor discussed about it.
So now we can take a look at your score here. So let's see. Okay, so integrated speaking. As I pointed out, you had some language use issues in there. You had some delivery issues in there. I think overall topic development was pretty good, so no major problems with that. I'm going to put you at 2.5 out of 4, or 19 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, now let's listen to your next one. This is integrated speaking practice test number 15. Okay, here we go.
The conversation discusses about the tests. The woman asks the man about his test. The conversation discusses about the tests. The woman asks the man about his test in biology. He mentions he went terribly bad. Then the woman says that in her preparation.
Now let's go back to the beginning here. Again, my recommendation is thought groups and blending. Sometimes, there were a couple of times in the past you have done well with your pacing, but the last few practice tests you need to work a little bit more on the pacing. So you want to pause appropriately after 4 or 5 stress words. Make sure you have a definitive pause, right? And then you say some more ideas, 4 or 5 more stress words, you have another pause, and that makes it a little easier to keep track of your points.
The conversation discusses about the tests. The woman asks the man about his test in biology. He mentions he went terribly bad. Then the woman says that in her preparation for tests, it's important not only working harder, but instead working.
So you talked about the conversation talks about tests, but specifically, the one speaker has a specific problem about tests, and the other speaker offers a solution to that problem, right? So I would be a little more specific in the topic or the introduction that you include in the beginning.
The man does not understand very well what she means and says he does question and answer sessions during his studies. However, she says in her preparation for tests, she mainly uses cards with question and answers and review them for 2 weeks in a row before the test.
Okay, give me just one quick second. Okay, let's see. The light turned off, and I just got it turned on now, so let's keep going.
She also participates in study groups and takes...
Participates. Again, the P is a recurring problem, Michelle. You want to make sure you pronounce it with more air. So that's something that I want you to work on over the next few days.
From lesson discussions with groups and professor. After all, the professor is the one who prepares the tests. He likes her suggestions and says he will incorporate all of them into his study plan.
Okay.
The conversation discusses about the test.
Okay, let's take a look at this one. So I think here, again, you're having some problems with your delivery, with pronunciation. Particularly, I think you can make some improvements with your intonation. And I think I just gave you some similar comments about that before. So that's pronunciation lessons 36 through 40. They talk a lot about intonation. So I think you should review some of those pronunciation videos and then try to incorporate those things into your speaking practice. All right, so some minor language use issues also. So with this one, about the same as the last one, I'm going to put you at about 2.5 out of 4, or 19 points out of 30. Let me send these to her. Go to the next one in just a minute. Okay, now I email her the comments for these two speaking practice tests, then I move on to the next one. Got it. Okay, let's go to Brian here. So let's see. So he's doing some pronunciation practice. So speak clearly, lesson number 5. He wants feedback in that area. See what we have.
Meet, people, money, bet, met, hurt, business.
Oh, this is going to be tough. You're working on 2 specific vowel sounds that are killing your pronunciation. So let me go ahead and find the exercise that you're doing right now, and then I'm going to give you some feedback on this. Okay, Brian, I'm getting ready to listen to your pronunciation practice that you submitted to me today, so let me go ahead and look into the... I need to find that particular lesson. Just give me just a quick second here. Okay, here we go. Let me go ahead and listen to it. Let's see if, I'm not even going to look at the lesson. Let's see if I can understand the words that you're saying without even seeing them myself. And that's the true test. If I can understand the difference there. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go.
Meet, people, money, bet, met, hurt, business, malignum, mate, gate, gauge, rain, day, temple, guest, berry, reception.
Now wait a minute. Let me see what you're... I got to check. I'm going to have to check the lesson here just for a minute. I apologize. I need to make sure I know where you are here. I thought you were doing one lesson, but you're doing another one here. Okay, you're doing vowel sounds. I see what you're doing. I got it. Okay, let's go back to the beginning.
Eat, people, money, bet, met, hurt, business, malignant.
Not bad. Malignant. Malignant.
Made, gate, gauge, rain, day, temple, guest, bury, reception, set.
Good. All right, let me scroll down a little bit. Okay.
Met, left, rally, correct, anger, suit, blue, through, who.
I need to go down here. Hold it. Go back just a little bit. Okay.
Bury, reception, set, met, left, rally, correct, anger, suit, blue, through, who, sewer, do, foot, butcher, cut, boat, bow, thought, open, mold, bought, cut, run, car.
That one. Baw. Bought, caught, wrong, core. Baw, bought.
Caught, father, sergeant, honor, hospital, but, tough, oven, another, brother.
Okay.
Ability, Asia, sofa, around, bite, time, island, choir, aisle.
Good. Good on the diphthongs. Now let me scroll down just a little bit. Okay, I got it.
Bout, brown, loud.
No, it's bout. It's the I-oo, bow, bout, brown.
Town, crown, joy, oily, annoy, rejoice.
Okay, so not bad. So as you
People, money.
as you continue going through those lessons, remember that each lesson will begin to focus on specific sounds, and that's where I'm more interested in getting feedback, or actually giving you feedback. I'd rather you start going through some of those specific lessons. You can do a lot of these on your own, and then once you start completing the sentence and the paragraph readings, that's what you want to send me so I can give you feedback in those areas. All right? Okay, now I'm going to send him some comments. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Oscar, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT. And you completed, it looks like, Independent Speaking Practice Test number 1. So you're getting your first feedback on an independent speaking practice test, right? So let's go ahead and download this for just a second. Double check, make sure I'm recording here. So this is practice test number 1. Okay, so Let me go ahead and look at this one too, just for a quick second here. I want to make sure I know which one it is. I mean, I know, but I want to read it just to be sure. Okay, so this is a two-part question. It's an independent speaking task, a kind of like a personal preference kind of thing. So it says, describe a place you visited as a child. What is your favorite memory while visiting this place? So first of all, you want to describe the place, then talk about what your favorite memory is. So let's see what we have. Here we go.
Eat, people, money, bet, met, head, business.
No, that's not the right one. Hold on. Let me download it one more time. Okay, here we go.
Giving some specific examples to support your ideas.
Okay, here we go.
Describe a place you visited
Good luck,
when you were
buddy.
a child. What is your favorite memory while visiting this place? Begin speaking now.
All right.
When I was 10 years old, I went to visit a complex of buildings close to Mexico City named Teotihuacan. That is an outstanding place to visit because there is a lot of pyramids. Specifically, there is the Pyramid of the Sun, one of the biggest pyramids in the whole world.
Okay.
My favorite memory that I have is that
Now, here's a key now. I've got to give you some comments. I hate to stop it. I like to try to listen to the whole thing, but the Pyramid of the Sun, that is the area you want to focus more on. Notice the first part of the question says, describe the place you visited. Right? So to spend more time on that, you might say, well, a place I visited as a child was the Pyramid of the Sun near Mexico City. Once you say that, then you're now going to spend about 15 or 20 seconds in which you're actually describing what it looked like. That's what you're trying to do there, right? So describe the place. So you kind of fell short of that. Now you're moving on to what your favorite memory is.
went with all my family and all together climbed both pyramids, the Pyramid of the Moon and the Pyramid of the Sun.
Okay.
That's...
And what I would do is focus on one of the pyramids. That way you don't have to worry about describing both of them. So just focus either on Pyramid of the Moon or Pyramid of the Sun and just do that one thing.
Why I can say is my favorite memory.
All right. So let's take a look at the rubrics now. That's the next thing, is let's try to figure out what your score is and why, and what, if anything, you can do to get better. Because that's what it's all about, right? Just trying to figure out how to make your speaking better than it is right now. Okay, so from a delivery standpoint, you had some minor pauses and some minor hesitations in there, so that might bring down your score a little bit. Hold on, the light just turned off. Give me a second. The area of language use, I think you need to be a little more specific and precise with the vocabulary that you're using. So, I think, for example, when you describe one of the pyramids, you can talk about how it's built out of stone, or maybe they made these square blocks, they stacked them one after the other into a shape of a pyramid. You can talk about maybe the surrounding area, maybe there's some grass, maybe there's a river, some mountains, maybe some trees. But you need to be more specific in the vocabulary that you're using to really create or recreate the scene, right? And then really when you move to the second part of the question, I'm also giving you topic development comments right now. You really didn't give enough specific details to explain why it's your favorite memory. So you need to be much more specific in your answers as you answer these kinds of questions if you want to score higher. So probably you need to make some improvements with vocabulary, I'm guessing, right? So you can go to the vocabulary area of my course. I have at least 1,700 words there that you can start learning today. That might be a good start to help improve your vocabulary of English. Now, it'll probably take you a couple of months to really master those words, but it'll be really worth your time to do that. Your score here, I'm going to put you at about 2.3 out of 4 or 18 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, now I'm going to email him the comments I just gave him. All right, let's see what we have now. Okay, looks like we have a pretest. So we have a student doing some pronunciation practice.
Hi Michael, this is Tracy. The following is my pretest.
Okay. Alright, so let me go to my website and find it. And the thing here is she's completing a pronunciation pretest, and I'm going to try to diagnose as best I can any possible problems she might be having with vowel and consonant sounds. That's the key. Got it. So let's go to the pronunciation section. And when I was designing my online TOEFL course, I wanted to design, as crazy as it sounds, I wanted to make an online TOEFL course that would completely replace an intensive English program. So then students all over the world, instead of having to go to a program and spend thousands and thousands of dollars, they can simply join my course. They go through all the lessons. They post pronunciation, speaking, and writing practice tests when they want feedback from me. And in a few months, their English is a lot better. And it doesn't even cost them that much. It's about my course for 1 month is no more than what it takes to fill your car up with gasoline. That's it. That's what I wanted to do. So I wanted to help those disadvantaged students in underdeveloped or developed countries where they're not, or developing countries, I should say, where they don't have a lot of money, but they do want to get some good English instruction. They want to do better on the TOEFL exam. That's exactly what my online TOEFL course does. Let's see how she does on this. I need to start the recording for her. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Tracy, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-Step System to Pass a TOEFL IBT, and I'm going to listen to your pronunciation pretest. Right? So let's go ahead and get started on that, and I'll try to give you some feedback. And so what I'll do is I'll listen to part A first, and then right after that I will give you some feedback.
Hi Michael, this is Tracy. The following is my pretest.
All right.
Lesson 7. Pot, boat, run, roll, honor, over, father, ball. Lesson 8. Pet, pot, map, mop, tech, talk.
Good.
And on, Mac, mop.
All right.
Lesson 9. Bright, brown, broy, lie, loud, loyal, pie, pound.
All right.
Lesson 10. Gate, get, late, let, made, met, blade, bled, dang, den.
Good. So you are distinguishing between your long and your short vowel sounds. That's what I'm trying to check here.
Lesson 11. Meat, meat, Pete, Pete.
This one's tough. This is lesson number 11. I'm going to write this one down. You're having some trouble here.
Leap, leap, seat, sit, hit, hit.
This one's very hard for you, unfortunately. So lesson number 11, you definitely want to study a lot.
Lesson 12. Look, look, lock, took, tool, tough, could, cool.
I think you can also study lesson 12.
Lesson 13. Match, mash, chip, sheep, feature, fisher, chafed, shaved, cheer, shear.
Not bad. You're distinguishing between the CH and the SH.
14. Off, off, have, fine, vine.
So the V sound, in lesson 14, you can work a little bit more on. Van, vine.
Fan, van, wafer, waver.
So it looks like when the V's in the beginning of the word, that's where you have more trouble. You pronounce the V when it's in the medial sound or in the middle of the word. So especially with lesson 14, I want you to practice the V, especially as the initial consonant when it's in the beginning of the word.
Lesson 15. How, habit, who, rehash, behavior, hate.
Okay.
Batman, beaten, important, brightening, hat trick, threatened.
Okay, so this is the one, in American English, we have what's called the glottal stop. You're not comfortable with that sound. So if you look at the end of those words you're saying Batman, bitten, important. In a lot of native speakers, they will say Batman, bitten, important, brightening, hat rack. So in lesson 15, so if you don't like the glottal stop sound, you don't have to say it. You can say mountain instead of mountain. There's no problem with that, but I just want you to be aware that native speakers will not pronounce it that way, so you want to make sure you can understand it when we say it. But I'd like you to practice in lesson 15, focus on the glottal stop sound, at least from a listening standpoint.
Lesson 16. Major, measure, fragile, fraser, legend, lation.
No, this is killing you. It's that second sound, the zh, measure, Fraser, lesion, azure.
Engine, azure, large, Asia.
So the last sound, Asia, you're okay with it in that word, but generally that zh, that palatal consonant there, you need more practice with.
Lesson 17. Cake, cape,
Okay.
Sink, sack. Can, cap, gap. Lake, lap.
All right.
Lesson 18. Lane, rear. Better. Luggage, rushed.
That word's 2 syllables. Rugged. Rugged.
User. Right, light. Committed. Lesson 19. Pass, base.
But it's more pace. A, pace.
Flap, cap, lap, pay, bay.
Now what you want to remember here in lesson 19, the B sound is a voice consonant, so when it's at the end of the word, the vowel sound which precedes it will be longer. On the other hand, the P is a voiceless consonant, and when it occurs at the end of the word, the vowel which precedes it is shorter. So now, pay attention to this. This is what you're not doing. Flap, flab. Cap, cab. Lap, lab. So you need to get comfortable making the vowel longer when it precedes the B or a voice consonant.
Lesson 20. Lice. Zip.
Again, the same principle. Lice, lies. Because the Z in the second word, the vowel which precedes it should be longer.
Zoo. Maze. Eliza.
So you're having trouble in lesson 20 with the Z, so focus a lot in that lesson on the Z consonant sound.
Lesson 21. Multiple. Robert. Example. Pressure. Principle. Number. People. Philosopher.
Okay.
Lesson 22. Volcanism. Rhythm. Maximum. Question. Summer. Reason. Chasten. Often.
Okay.
Lesson 23.
Now be careful here with the T and the D again. When the D's at the end of the word, the vowel which precedes it is longer. When the T consonant's at the end of the word, the vowel's a little shorter.
Tip. Deep. Cart. Tight. Train. Drain. Fat.
Not doing it again. So the same problem you had in lesson 19, you're also having that same problem in lesson 23. Again, the vowel which precedes a voice consonant should be longer.
Team. Dream. Lesson 24.
So what I would say is, with those words, cart, card, tight, tide, fat, fad.
Thigh. Breast. Teeth.
Now I'm having a lot of trouble here, so this is lesson 24.
Throw. Door. Worthy. Part B. What is my...
Okay, so what do we know now? What do we know? So before I listen to part B, I can tell you this. In the pronunciation area of my course surrounding vowel and consonant sound, you need to focus more on these lessons. Lesson 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 19, 23, and also 24. Those are the lessons you're having the most trouble. Those vowels and those consonant sounds you want to practice a little bit more. Now, Tracy, I recommend that you go through all of my pronunciation lessons at least once or twice just to be comfortable with the sounds in general. And remember, I want you to read out loud the sentences and the paragraphs and really practice those and read out loud with me. All my pronunciation videos are closed caption so that you can practice what's called tracking. Tracking means that you're imitating the native speaker, reading slightly behind the native speaker, using the same pronunciation, trying to use the same tone, the same rhythm, the same pacing, and all those other areas important to helping you speak clearly, right? Okay, now let's go ahead and listen to part B.
worthy. Part B.
Okay.
What is my educational background and my work history?
All right.
I have bachelor degree in advertising.
Okay.
And my work history is I work at a public relation agency for 1.5 years.
Okay.
And then I work.
Remember, 1.5 years. So don't forget your grammatical word endings, your EDs, your S's. So that helps you speak a little more naturally with fewer distractions if you can remember to pronounce those S endings.
In a foreign company, National Instruments, as a HR specialist for 1.5 years.
Okay.
Why
So
is
you'll say 1.5 years.
important for me to improve my speaking and pronunciation abilities of American English?
Okay.
Because I am going to take a TOEFL test
Okay.
in August 22nd. And I am applying for the graduate school next year.
All right.
So I have I must have above like 25 score in TOEFL test. So I need to improve my speaking and pronunciation abilities.
So you need to get a higher than 25 points in the speaking section of the test.
I hope to achieve fluent and write the correct pronunciation skills in this course.
Okay. Fair enough.
And the grammar.
Right.
Because when I'm speaking, I hardly can.
Now be careful, not when I'm speaking, but when I am speaking or when I speak. So don't forget the auxiliary verb, that be verb. So if you're using speaking, right? So when I am speaking.
Notice my grammar.
Okay.
So I need to approve this part. Thank you.
Exactly. So you know I have the grammar. The grammar is the third area of my course, so you can start working in that area today by taking a pretest. That would be a great idea for you. Okay, now I'm going to give you what's called an intelligibility score. What that means is on a scale of 1 to 7, where do you score? Are you 7, a native speaker? Are you 1, a high beginner? So I'm going to put you at about 2.7 out of 7 right now, low intermediate in your speaking abilities. So you're not as comfortable as you need to be with speaking, and you do have some vocabulary, you have some grammar limitations, and also some pronunciation problems which make it sometimes difficult to understand what you're saying. Now I will include a link to my intelligibility scale so you can see it for yourself. Now what do? My recommendation, start going through these lessons. Once you've gone through all the pronunciation lessons on vowel and consonant sounds, once you feel like you've mastered that area of my course, then take the second pretest, and I will give you feedback also. Remember, you can also send me independent and integrated speaking practice tests on a daily basis, and I will also give you feedback in those areas as well. Alrighty? Okay, now I send her comments. I think I have one more. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I have one more to do after this. That's basically how it works. I typically spend about 1 hour every day giving comments to my students in my online TOEFL course, especially the ones who want to get 26 or higher. They practice every day for about 2 or 3 months. Then most of them can get where they need to be in order to reach their goal. Okay, we have one more. Marcelo. Okay, here we go. He's doing independent speaking practice test number 163. So let me download this.
An important material.
Okay, here we go. Now I need to talk to him. Yeah, hi there. Marcelo, this is Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons at the 7-step system to pass a TOEFL IBT. So you completed an independent speaking practice test number 163. All right, so the question is, describe an important materialistic possession that you lost. Why was it important to you? So let's hear how you answered this question.
An important materialistic possession that I had lost was my smartphone because it stored a lot of information and I have all my contacts there.
There. Now let me go back to what you said. Snarfa? Let me hear it again.
An important materialistic possession that I had lost was my smartphone because it stored a lot of information and I have all my contacts there.
Okay, so I don't know what Snarfa is, but probably you're going to tell me right now. So it contained a lot of information, had a lot of contacts, so it sounds like it's some kind of electronic device, right? Probably a phone, I'm guessing.
First of all, I used to store a lot of information in my smartphone, including some homeworks and presentation about my projects. So when my smartphone disappeared, I had to repeat some of those presentations. In addition,
you had to repeat them or recreate them or reproduce them. So I'm not sure if you're using exactly the right vocabulary there. So only you know what you're trying to say there, but I would probably say I had to recreate or reproduce those particular assignments.
I used to store all my contacts there, and when I lost my smartphone, I had to ask again to my friends for the numbers. Overall, that's why my smartphone was the most important materialistic possession that I had lost.
Okay, so let's go back. So that's why it's the most important material possession that I had lost. So I'm having a little bit of trouble with your use of the past perfect here. Now, usually when you're using the past perfect, Marcelo, you're talking about two different actions in the past, and the one action occurs before the other. So you might say, well, I had lost my NARFA by the time I started my studies at my new university. In that case, we're talking about two different actions. So you lost the SNARFA first, you started attending the school second, so you're using the past perfect tense to sequence the order of the actions, right? But the way that you're using the simple past, you're not necessarily using it to sequence two past actions. You're just talking about an action that has a beginning and end in the past. So losing my SNARFA was the most was a material possession that I really needed or whatever. So maybe that's a minor issue with language use. That's all I'm saying. I think there's a minor use of that. So what do? Go to Google. Here are the key words. The simple past and the past perfect verb tenses in English grammar. Or What is the difference between the simple past and the past perfect verb tenses in English grammar? So you need to be comfortable understanding the difference between those two. All right, so you had pretty good topic development. You organized your response. You had some specific relevant supporting detail. So you also had pretty good control of your grammar and your vocabulary, but you did have maybe that issue differentiating between the simple past and the past perfect as I just described. Delivery, it's kind of interesting. You're on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to put you at a 7 right now. And 10 would be perfect, right? So 7 means you still have some minor pacing issues, some minor issues with intonation that you can still work on. And most importantly, really inundate your mind right now. Flood your mind with a lot of movies in English, a lot of songs and music in English. Watch a lot of TV in English, and really spend a lot of time speaking English. So you need to really bombard your brain with English right now, because you're trying to get that higher speaking score, and all of this will begin to help you modify and change your accent so it sounds more natural. All right, so those are my comments for you. I'm going to put you right now at about, it's still a pretty good response. I'm going to put you at 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this practice test. Which one was this again? He's doing 163, so I have to save this. So now I need to email him. How much time do I have in the video here? Man, I got 8 minutes. And I only have an hour on this, so I took roughly an hour to give comments to 6 students. So that's kind of how it works. And every month, I usually get 3 or 4 students who actually get 26 or higher. They get it eventually. It's just a matter of how hard and how long they want to fight and how much they practice, but they will get their score eventually. It does happen. My job is to be the coach and the TOEFL speaking specialist during that process to help these students reach their goals. That's what I'm trying to do. I need to just finish sending him his, and then we'll be done for the day. Marcelo. And that's it.